Yo, right here in the small box.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got another issue on our hands because what's going on with the Grammys is that I think they are losing the plot, which kind of is weird because the Grammys is the plot. But when it comes to international artists, you guys are always fumbling the bag. Are you doing this without any research? That's the real question. Who at that committee is running things? And why aren't you paying more attention to artists that are outside of the country? That's a big problem. Why is it that BTS got problems, but BTS is clearly on a world domination run? Right? Now, don't get it twisted. I think XG is next. Okay, let's make it clear. But with this whole like BTS boycotting the Grammys, the only thing I gotta say is, well done, because the fact that the Grammys created an Asian pop award, that's weird. And of course, East Asian. Let's go ahead and make that clear, right? To put up regions is strange. I don't understand this regional divide that the Grammys is trying to create, because that makes it worse for you. The music is music, period, right? You're kind of struggling when it comes to, not even kind of, you are struggling when it comes to international artists. Because traditionally speaking, anybody from the UK can just be thrown in any category. But with BTS, it's a little different. See, let's go ahead and check this out real quick because I want to talk about this. The 5 new categories announced by the Recording Academy in June 2026. The new categories for the February 2027 ceremony includes Best Asian Pop Music Performance, covering K-pop, J-pop, and C-pop. Best R&B Collaborations or Duo/Group Performance. Best Traditional Pop Vocal Performance. Best Traditional Folk Album, and Best Latin Song. That's what the Grammys is doing right now, creating categories. Let me just go ahead and speak about this real quick, because at the end of the day, between all award ceremonies for music, let's go ahead and make this clear right now. The Grammys is still top shelf. Their award means the most because this is an idea or a picture or a trophy of what the best looks like. You can get other awards such as the BET award, right? But the Grammys outweighs the BET award because of the value that comes from the Grammys. Could BET surpass them? Absolutely. But because BET pretty much lost their way, it doesn't weigh that much anymore. Think about it like this, how deeply BET is connected to like the music in general. Because look at how hip hop is today, and look how it affected BET. BET is at its best 2020 and up when it's vintage, when it's throwbacky. Before that, it was struggling bad. And a lot more people need to voice that because the BET Awards mean something. There's power with this. There's meaning with this. There's definition with this. But because the music is bad, and of course whoever controls the music controls the narrative, which is the industry or labels, the award doesn't mean that much anymore. It doesn't weigh that much anymore. Back in the early 2000s, bro, that was a contender. Easily a contender. But look at it today. It's quite disappointing. But to go into the controversy with BTS boycotting, the Best Asian Pop Music Performance category caused immediate debate, prompting the K-pop group BTS to skip 2027 Grammy submissions. As reported by Reuters, if I butcher that, I'm sorry, the members expressed hope that music is valued without being divided by region or language. Critics contend that such categorization restricts global artists, while Grammy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. Maintains the additions reflect the growth of regional music and do not prevent consideration in general fields. What you need to understand is that you fail to see that by trying to target, you are corrupting or damaging your product, right? All the categories need to be revised. And what does that mean if the categories needs to be revised? Sorry, is simply this: the subgenres need to be updated. Hip hop has been calling for this for years. The subgenres need to be upgraded because what's going to happen with that is that you can easily divvy up artists into different categories for them to have an opportunity to win, meaning more winners, meaning more successful artists, meaning more value in music because of a simple change. You're adding this topic into the awards set, but you're not realizing that it doesn't make sense for it to be here because look at your other categories. You need to revise your categories. It's mandatory now. The fact that this is affecting the Grammys at this point, subgenres need to be reevaluated, especially for hip hop, because now it's getting to a point where simple mistakes like this or simple F-ups like this damages the product. That damages the value of the award. That's a big problem. Let's go ahead and make that clear. That's a big problem. That can affect music in its future because of this failure to understand the situation. One little mistake can ruin music in the future. Think about that. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but there is still value with that statement. All right? This is a problem. This is a big problem. So, at this point, the main questions that we have to ask ourselves is, of course, why? How? In terms of how to fix this. Here's a good point. Get rid of it. Because BTS has been at the Grammys for how long? You just need to revise your categories so they can start to, be successful, or even other artists to be successful. Plain and simple, right? But we already have the Who, Harvey Mason Jr., maintains the additions reflect the growth of regional music, but your categories doesn't correctly affect regional music, right? Because BTS doesn't fit into your model. Well, what does that mean? Fix your categories. Fix your categories, fix the subgenres. I promise everybody will be successful after that. But is that what you want? Do you not want more money in your pocket? Do you not want to try harder? Because that's what you got to do. You got to get up off your butt and stop being lazy, guys. Industry. You got to try. But you guys want to hold on to your seats oh so long because you're getting money out the wazoo, right? Is that why you're still working there even though you got gray hair in your head? It's a real thing. You need younger faces in those chairs to better understand today's categories. I'm ready. You know damn well I'm ready. But let's go ahead and check out a quick reel, and then we're going to talk after, all right? Let's go ahead and make it happen.
BTS won't submit their music for the 2027 Grammy Awards.
Good.
In coordinated Instagram posts, the 7 members said, "We have decided not to enter the Grammys this year. I hope that music can be heard and loved for what it is, rather than being divided by region or language." The band's decision comes a month after the introduction of the Best Asian Pop Music Performance Award at the Grammys. BTS's single Swim would have been excluded from this category due to its English language lyrics, as under new rules, songs nominated must contain meaningful use of an Asian language.
Is that not crazy? They made an album. They made a project. From what I heard, it's a very meaningful project because I don't listen to BTS like that. I hear BTS's music. I do not listen to them like that. If you guys want me to explore, the comment section is there. Let me know. If you want me to explore, I'll do it. We're exploring XG right now. Phenomenal group, by the way. Contenders, by the way, for BTS. But I don't know too much about BTS. I'm going to be real. But if you want me to explore, I'll explore. I ain't got a problem with that. But notice how they made an album. What is it, 80% English language in there? What do you think that's for? To be in a category at the Grammys. But here come the Grammys, finally, we'll accept you for once. but they can't even be in the category because of the language that they use. Bruh. Grammys, are you not paying attention? You guys got to do your research. If you want to be awarding these artists, you need to understand these artists. Y'all are doing it without a care in the world. You see the group like, all right, how are we going to make this work for everybody? Bro, come on, man. What are we doing? Y'all embarrassing yourselves out here, bro. What do you think they did that for?
And for example, on BTS's album Arirang, more than 80% of the lyrics are sung in English. Many K-pop fans have complained that instead of celebrating Asian artists, the Grammys have pigeonholed them with this award. The Recording Academy, which organises the ceremony,
because a lot of Asian artists and groups out there, mind you, they're learning how to speak English so it can translate well to English-speaking audiences. When you look at BTS fans in North America, when you look at XG fans in North America, the fact that they're getting called out in some songs, the fact that you can understand them when they rap, you can understand them when they sing. Hello? What do you think they're doing that for? That's for a global presence. So the fact that they did it with that album, of course it's not their only like project that they did it for, but it's like, come on, bro. Pay attention. Because it doesn't look like you guys are, right? Let's keep going.
ceremony has yet to respond, and BBC News has contacted them for a statement. Do you agree with BTS's decision? BTS won't submit their music.
Yeah, I agree completely, wholeheartedly. Because you got to understand, over in the East Asia, they are developing artists. And they're developing artists at a global scale. And to maintain or to let the world know that they do mean something, they need to be in these awards. They need to win these awards. They need to be a part of these award ceremonies, right? Fortunately, BTS has such a world domination. They actually literally do not need the award. So think about that for a second, right? Ain't that crazy? Now, does this give opportunity to other artists out east to submit and compete for an award? Of course. If that's your decision, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. But you got to understand why that trophy might not mean that much out east. It might mean something out west, which will give you opportunity to work with other people out west. But in the east, not so much. Because if BTS and the army that comes with BTS says they're going to boycott, that's something right there. Okay? Let's go ahead and make that clear. Now, my final thoughts to this is simply you just got to understand what you're dealing with. Grammys. You really got to understand these artists. I understand that you don't have all the time in the world to do it. But that's too damn bad. Okay? There are plenty of contenders out there. You got to listen to those contenders. And I don't mean just listen to hear. Listen to understand. Because as far as I see it, with what move that you made here, you don't understand. And that's quite embarrassing if I'm going to be real. Because remember what I talked about with the weight of a Grammy. That damages it. It's not all buffed up as it used to be no more. It's dented. That's a problem. How you going to fix that? Grammys, you got to figure that out, bro. Real shit. Anyway, if this is your first time here, make sure I hit that sub button to this. Make sure I hit that sub button to the FlexMob Network, bro. Come tap in with us. We always talk music. All right? We talk about music, good music, nothing but music around here. Little entertainment, but it's all music. It's all love at the same time, too, all right? Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all know the vibe. You tapped in with what? FlexMob Network, bro. Boom.